Hi, good afternoon. This is Cindy Bertram, and thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week, and it's such a great way to kind of celebrate different things and be thankful for what we've got too, which is great. Also, who does not like turkey, right? Although in my case, I went to my sister's house. We went there for our dinner, and she kind of stresses up about cooking. She's good, but anyway, I guess her rolls didn't raise. She got really upset about that too. But I thought, hey, that's okay. Turkey's good, dressing's good. Who cares? We had a good time. So anyway, one thing that's kind of fun too is we've got new ships coming up like crazy, which I really, really am so excited about. Yes, okay, because good ship happens on cruise ships. Yes, but also what's really fun too is Disney Cruise Line has a new ship coming out. Actually, she was actually just she arrived. Um, the Disney Treasure in their new ship was actually named in New York. Okay, this just came up. Um, but the thing is, this is at a special ceremony on November 19th. Okay, and the fun thing is, in this case, normally cruise lines, they have a godfather or godmother christening the ship. But in this case, they didn't choose a godmother or a godfather. It was just their crew members, which is great too. So I think this is great too because once again, um, they brought this tribute to their, of course, their stories and their characters. They're brought to life, of course, and they had like over 1,000 drones set to have different songs playing too, which is great too. And once again, for more than 100 years, um, Disney has really filled the hearts of people with joy and wonder. And it sounds like it was such a wonderful event. So it was actually the Disney Treasure Christening Spectacular. Um, Ended with forming, drones actually formed a 65-foot tall champagne bottle, okay, that burst into the grand finale, okay, which is great too. Normally they christen ship with a bottle. In this case, they did drones to activate that instead, which I think is kind of fun too. And the Disney Treasure, by the way, I love that name too, by the way, okay? But the Disney Treasure is a sister ship to the Disney Wish, which was launched in 2022. And then they've got their Disney Destiny that's going to actually debut November next year, 2025. So in another year, less than a year, we've got the new Disney Destiny. Okay, but I love the name Disney Treasure, don't you? I mean, who want to find a treasure on a cruise ship, right? Especially with Disney because their entertainment is phenomenal. Okay, I sailed on Disney the first year they started Disney Cruise Line, which is great, back in the 1990s. But I'll tell you what, it was just amazing what they did too, because once again, the entertainment was fantastic. And also, what they do too is they have different restaurants on board. What you do is you dine in a different restaurant every evening, and your staff goes with you. So, in other words, you've got the same waiter and assistant waiter actually are with you every when you change and dine a different restaurant every night, which is different themed restaurants too. So that was really kind of fun too. Plus, they had a beautiful area for families and children's programs too. In fact, I had talked to parents that had dropped their kids off and the kids didn't want to leave. They had so much fun. I'll say that special adults only area, which is great too. And also, if you're not a gambler, and I'm not, okay, I gamble, I just throw money off the water, right? But anyway, they do is on Disney, they don't have a casino on board the ship, which gives them more space, which is great too. So anyway, more about the Disney Treasure. After she was officially named in New York with drones and more. And that took place on November 19th at the Chelsea Pier 60 on the Hudson River in New York City. I've been there before, it's beautiful. But the Disney Treasure's maiden voyage is going to take place coming up in December 21st. So a couple weeks. And she's going to be sailing course out of Port Canaveral. And she's going to sail on a 7-night cruise to the Eastern Caribbean, visiting Tortola, which is gorgeous. I love it. St. Thomas and Disney's Castaway Cay, which is their private out island too. And once again, some other details about her official maiden voyage, inaugural voyage, is that she'll be welcomed to Port Canaveral by Captain Mickey and Captain Minnie Mouse, along with hundreds of Disney cast members too. How fun. I love that so much. I'm just going to run into tears. Fun. Also, the ship's arrival is going to be greeted with a water salute and the sound of a whole new world from the ship's horn, which is great. Because before, when I sailed on Disney Cruise Line myself, they did a different horn blowing thing when I sailed on the ship. It was When You Wish Upon a Star, part of that too. But in this case, with the Disney Treasure, the song they're going to do instead, their water salute, and then of course the sound from the ship's horn is going to be part of a whole new world. That's great too. So once again, they've got well, the ship features certain things. The Haunted Mansion parlor that immerses people into the Haunted Mansion saga. Okay, and if you've never been to the Haunted Mansion in Disney World, you need to go. It is so much fun. But to actually have a simulated experience like that on a Disney Cruise Line ship, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing that too. It's going to resemble a first-class lounge from a classic cruise liner, and also feature a portrait of the ship's ghostly residents. Okay, so they're ghostly residents, but I said they're not going to haunt you too much, okay? But have fun too. And then she's going to her season. She's going to be including sailing out 7-night itineraries to the Eastern and Western Caribbean. But her first maiden voyage coming up on December 21st, early Christmas present, is going to be sailing out of Port Canaveral, 7-night cruise over Christmas. And it's going to be Eastern Caribbean, visiting, as mentioned, Tortola, which is gorgeous, St. Thomas, and Disney's Castaway Cay, too, which is where Castaway Cay, but it's great. So I think that's so exciting because, once again, it's just exciting to talk about new cruise ships going out too. And yes, Disney Treasure definitely looks like a treasure too. Great. So that's the update as far as Disney. Now, something's kind of fun too is we talked about Virgin Voyages. Okay, that is a cruise line that is actually started by Sir Richard Branson. He's very famous, just amazing person. And remember, he had Virgin Voyages before the different things too. He's also Sir Richard Branson. He's from Great Britain. But what they decided to do, and I got a chance to see their Scarlet Lady when she first started sailing out of Port Miami back in 2021. They was down at a cruise conference, Sea Trade World Conference. It was wonderful, and they just bring the Scarlet Lady there to start sailing on inaugural cruises after went through the pandemic. But they reached out to me, other people in the media, and they had us come down there to see the ship, run by the ship for about 6-7 hours. It was amazing to actually see the ship in person. And yes, I got up at 1 o'clock in the morning, didn't want to leave, okay? I've got a friend now sailing on the Scarlet Lady right now. Can't wait to see her when it comes back, but definitely it's a cruise line I want to sail on myself too. But anyway, what they did was Virgin Voyages just announced this week. Okay, if you've ever been dreaming of maybe using a cruise ship like the Hop On Hop Off, well, Virgin Voyages is really making this a reality now too. As mentioned, this is adults only. No kids allowed. You have to be 18 years or older, and they've got this unlimited annual pass that will allow travelers to board any of Virgin Voyages ships around the world for a full calendar year. And also you can bring a +1 person if you want. It's a little expensive, but once again, save up money, okay? The actual cost for the pass is $120,000. It's also available on a first-come, first-served basis for a trip starting next year in 2025. And once again, travelers must be actually 21 years or older and book this pass by March 31st next year. And you can look at Virgin Voyages Contact Us page. But Richard Branson mentioned, he's been a big believer in the power of travel and adventure to spark creativity and build clarity. And what started as a sought-after work from sea concept with their season pass has evolved into something even more special. Richard Branson mentioned he's, of course, the founder of the Virgin Group. And they mentioned now sailors, they call their guests sailors now, but you don't have to wear a sailor hat, okay? Sailors can now jump aboard any of our ships across an endless variety of exciting destinations for an entire year. We're offering unlimited opportunities for adventure in a way that has really never been done in cruising before. And the pass is available to purchase with the start date of January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, or April 1st, and be valid for 1 year after that date. And pass holders must still pay taxes and fees for the voyages that they book too. Once again, as mentioned, with this pass, travelers or sailors can actually be able to board any Virgin ships, including the 3 it currently sails. This includes the Scarlet Lady, of course. Beautiful. I saw her. Was on board 7 hours. The Valiant Lady. Also, they've got the Resilient Lady. And then next year, in September 2025, they've got their new ship. And the ship's name is going to be the Brilliant Lady. So once again, later on, people have 4 choices as far as the lady ships, of course. Okay, but I think it's just so much fun to think about that too, because once again, people that actually have this will be able to book a sea terrace cabin, stateroom complete with balcony and hammock, which is great. Onboard perks, complimentary laundry, so you don't have to actually wash your own clothes, okay? Unlimited premium Wi-Fi. They've got a $100 bar tab credit per voyage, and they've also got priority boarding, concierge service, etc. So once again, the passes range from 24 to 40 nights, and they're doing some different things too. So just keep that in mind too. If you got extra money, or maybe Santa's been very good to you this year, maybe you might have enough money to actually do something as far as this purchases on this year-long unlimited cruise pass. Okay, so once again, think about that too, just in case. Or hey, they're going to do it again this next year. They'll probably do it again and again and again. So just start saving up. But I think it's kind of a fun option to think about too, especially if you've got time to cruise different places. And like I said, they do a wonderful job. They really do. They really do. They've got different options as far as dining. What I like too is they don't have the main dining rooms. They've got smaller restaurants. You can pick and choose what restaurant you want to dine at every night. They've got great entertainment. Their pool area is gorgeous. Plus, one place I really like too, if you like ice cream, they've got their Lick Me Till ice cream parlor, okay? But with beautiful ice cream, small little tasty, which is great too. So keep that in mind. And maybe if Santa's good enough for you, you might have money to start saving up to actually maybe purchase this year-long unlimited cruise pass through Virgin Voyages, okay? So that's fun. Something else that's really, I think, exciting too is, Crystal Cruises. They were around for a long time, and then after COVID-19 hit, they went under. What they did was, they actually, the 2 ships they had got bought up by A&K, which is great. And what they're doing is they actually firmed up orders for 3 new ships. Right now, they've got their 2 ships sailing. They've undergone some updates too. Right now, their current ships include the Crystal Serenity and the Crystal Symphony, which is great. And these accommodate, a good example, they're smaller capacity, which is great, luxury. But the Crystal Serenity, which I had a chance to sail actually myself in 2016, 740 guests, okay? And also they've got their Crystal Symphony, which accommodates 606 guests. And like I said, they've got 3 new ships that they just placed orders for, okay? And it's going to feature a promenade that extends across the ship's perimeter, which is similar to the Symphony and the Serenity. Also, the ships are going to include the Nobu restaurant, Umi Uma, and then Beef Bar. Also, the Crystal ships, new ones, will have casinos developed in collaboration with another company. And then also, I know that the development as far as collaborating with this company, it's the Monte Carlo Society de Bons de Mer, and really kind of funny too, because once again, it's great as far as what they're doing on their new ships too. So like I said, they've got 3 new ships they just signed on, and it's Luxury Cruise Lines, but once again, beautiful ships too. Plus, smaller number of guests, which is great. They have beautiful areas to dine, enjoy. They have one pool area that was just phenomenal, just gorgeous, but very, very pretty. Plus, once again, too, is different choice as far as dining. It was all included too, which is great. Luxury dining, all included, and different world-class cuisines. Of course, they've got Umi Uma, which is the only Naboo restaurant at sea. They've also got their beef bar, which is a brainchild of their visionary restaurateur, Ricardo. And also they've got different things too. They've got, of course, their let's see, they've got the on the Crystal Symphony, which is, and also this month, and also actually November, and also their Crystal Symphony in December. They've got this new casino, upgrade casino de Monte Carlo, which is debuting now too. And once again, the ships have all-inclusive, all-suite accommodations. They have private verandas. Also, they've got, let's see, they've got a really high crew to passenger guest ratio, which is great too. And what I thought was wonderful too, when I had a chance to sail on the Crystal, surrounding myself in 2016, as far as the crew members, I mean, they really love working on Crystal cruises. In fact, one gentleman I talked to quite a bit too, he mentioned he worked for other cruise lines. He says that was the best cruise line I ever worked on. He was really happy working there. The cruise I took was, I think, a 10-night cruise, but it was really, really phenomenal. And like I said, this comes 2 years after A&K Travel Group actually acquired Crystal Cruises in 2020, which is great too. They actually took over the 2 ships, and now they're adding 3 new ships. And I'll be sharing more about that later on too. They just finalized this deal for the new ships, which is great too. So I think that's a fun thing to share today too, because once again, new ships are always exciting too, but I'm just so glad because Crystal was such a beautiful experience. And to see passengers came back again and again and again. Also, as far as the crew members, they really enjoyed working on Crystal Cruises. You know, and that's something that's very important too, because when you have happy crew members, it really, I think, showcases what is going on board the ship too. And the ship was gorgeous because when I went on board, it was actually, I did a cruise over Thanksgiving. Yes, we had to get on board the ship. I think we were able to get on board the ship, I think, on Tuesday evening, and then we didn't depart until Wednesday. And then, of course, we're sailed out, was down from New Orleans, down the river. They went to the Caribbean. It was gorgeous. Beautiful experiences, too. Beautiful islands, too. So that's good, too. And what's fun thing, too, is as far as other cruise ships that have been debuting, we've got more cruise ships actually sailing out of different ports now. One, of course, is actually Port Canaveral, which is an hour away from Fort Lauderdale. No, not, I'm sorry, Orlando, sorry. My excuse, sorry. But, and of course, we've got new ships sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is great, too. And I know that one that just arrived at Port Canaveral was actually Princess Cruises. And I guess on November 27th, Princess Cruises, their Caribbean Princess actually arrived at Port Canaveral on November 27th. And that made it the launch of their new season in the Caribbean. And it's a great port. I sail a lot of Port Canaveral several times myself on Disney Cruise Lines, of course, and also when Premier Cruise Lines was around too. But it was great because once again, with their Caribbean Princess, she's sailing cruises right now through April 2025, and she's offering different cruises. These, of course, include, she'll be offering Eastern Caribbean cruises. These are 6-day voyages, cruises to Nassau, Grand Turks, also either Harbor Cove or San Juan, depending. Also, we've got Eastern Caribbean sailings. These are 8-day cruises. And these are going to be sailing to St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, San Juan, Puerto Rico, also Grand Turk. And plans just started actually December 1st. Also got Western Caribbean cruises. These are 8-night cruises, voyages, and these are going to Cozumel, Costa Maya, let's see, Belize, and also Roatan. And but once again, these are 6- and 8-day cruises too, which is great. So Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises on the Caribbean Princess, now departing from Port Canaveral, an hour away from Orlando, and she'll be doing these through April of 2025. So I think that's kind of fun too. So once again, the ships are beautiful too. And once again, we talk about Princess Cruises, The first thing I think about, of course, is the Love Boat TV series, of course, too, because that's really what really introduced cruising in a new way. We wouldn't have cruising today if I don't think it were for the great things that happened on the TV show The Love Boat, too. It was on Princess Cruises' ship, too. So keep that in mind, too, because once again, Caribbean Princess just arrived November 27th and is now sailing on Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises through April of 2025. So you got some time to plan, so keep it in mind, okay? Something else that's kind of fun, too, is another ship that just arrived and started sailing out of Florida is actually Explorer Journeys. Explorer Journeys is their second ship is Explorer 2, and they are part of the MSC group, which owns MSC Cruises. They've got Explorer Journeys, which is a luxury cruise line. Also, they've got the MSC Foundation. In addition, the other part of the MSC group, which is separate but still part of the family-owned company, is actually their MSC Container Shipping Company. And that's what the family started hundreds of years ago, Container Shipping Company. Then they got into cruising with their MSC Cruises. And then a couple years ago, they decided to go into more of the luxury cruise line. Explorer Journeys, their newest ship, the Explorer 2, was actually christened in September over in Europe, okay? And then she sailed on Mediterranean cruises, but she just arrived into Port Miami and now is offering Caribbean cruises until, I think, through March of this next year, too. But once again, they've got a new ship coming out, too. Explorer 3 is coming out in 2026. And they just announced some things. I'll share more about that, too. But it looks gorgeous. I got a chance to see previews of the ship before. I haven't been on her, but just wrote about her. But it sounds phenomenal because they have... they're bringing this ocean life to sea. Get different restaurants, luxury, just looks absolutely gorgeous. Small ships too, because once again, it just goes back to what they're really providing. Because once again, you know, their ships are gorgeous, limited capacity, and once again, I know that the Explorer Journeys dining concepts include their popular eateries, including Anthology, Sakura. They've got I think it's the Medi Yacht Club. That sounds interesting. Just wrote about it. Marble and Company Grill. They got their Imperial Marketplace. They've got their I think it's Phil Rouge too. They've got their wellness and wellness. Okay, including their spa, state of the art fitness center, studio, and also they've got their open air fitness areas on deck 14 outside. Plus they've got a running track actually located on deck 12, and they've expanded the sports court, which now offers pickleball, okay, and of course basketball. But pickleball is really growing like crazy. I've got a friend that plays pickleball a couple times a week. I've never played it yet. Need to maybe learn how to do it. But one thing that's become a very popular sport, okay, but also with pickleball, when I was on the Celebrity Ascent last year, the pre-christening cruise, they actually had pickleball on board their ships too. I know Waterways does that too, and also with the Explorer Journeys new ship coming out, Explorer 3 in 2026, she will also have a pickleball court too. So definitely keep in mind too, because it seems like it's a growing sport like crazy, and looks gorgeous. You know, I've seen people play pickleball myself, but it's good to see the pickleball court on board the Celebrity Ascent last year when I was on the pre-christening cruise, which is great. And also they've got they've got on the Explorer 3, they've got their Nautilus Club, which has been improved. They've got dedicated spaces and curated experiences designed for children and teens, which is great. Also, they've got their dedicated team, which on board, which really helps that really hosts different things for younger guests, of course. And I know that the the ship's got meeting rooms on deck 11 for business events, functions, and of course video conferences. And once again, they've got really great power capabilities too. And with the Explorer 3, it's going to be the first LNG powered vessel in the Explorer Journeys fleet, which is great. What they're doing is this enables a direct transition to drop they're using LNG, which is great too. So keep that in mind too, because Explorer 2 is coming out in 2026, but the Explorer 3 is coming out in 2026. Explorer 2, which came out earlier in September this year, christened over in Italy. She's sailing Mediterranean cruises, but now she just arrived at Port Miami. Now she's offering different kinds of Caribbean cruises, sailing out of Port Miami, which is great too. And she looks gorgeous. I just wrote about her, and just really excited to finally get a chance to see her sometime too. But just that's really great too. We've got different things coming aboard too. And then we've got some fun things too is Windstar Cruises. Okay, they are a fantastic cruise line. They've been around for several years, but what they did was they've got some ships, but they just been working on a new ship too, and their new ship is going to be called the Star Seeker. She just floated out in Portugal. This came up on November 25th, and the Star Seeker yacht, which is their first Star Class new build small ship for Windstar Cruises, just floated out, touching the water first time on November 25th, which is great. And with the float out, just an explanation of that too, it's a maritime tradition of marking when a ship actually leaves the dry dock and becomes waterborne for the first time. And while the construction of Star Seeker's exterior is complete, work is still continue on as far as completing the interiors, which includes 112 spacious suites. And this ship, the Star Seeker, is going to boast 5 dining options, a full-service spa with a grand entrance from the deck above, also fresh take on their water sports platform, which turns the ocean into infinity pool by allowing guests to have access to the sea directly from the ship too, which is great. And as far as the capacity, it's got a capacity of 224 guests. And the staff ratio is actually 1 to 2. And once again, 2 is, but the Star Seeker, she's going to maintain the intimate atmosphere which Windstar is well known for too, including personalized service. But how fun. And I know that this is great. And as far as the, like I said, the Star Seeker, she just floated out, so she's not finished on the interior, but floating out the first time she's actually touching the water, but they're doing more stuff as far as the interior of the ship too. And I know that she's going to be actually entering service in December of 2025, which is great. And she'll be sailing from Magdala, Spain to Miami, which is great. That's December of 2025, about a year away. And then the Windstar is going to be headquartered, where Windstar is headquartered. They're actually headquartered in Miami, and where the ship's christening will take place in January of 2026. And the Star Seeker is actually the first, she'll sail on her first voyage in the Caribbean and offer cruises in the regions before she heads up the west coast of the United States to Alaska for a full season of summer cruises in Alaska. And then from there, she will be sailing to Asia and then heading back to their around Japan itineraries too. And I think it's really kind of fun too, because once again, just gorgeous. It looks gorgeous, and it's very luxury, but also smaller size too, which is great too. And once again, it just looks gorgeous too. Also, they've got Windstar is going to debut an additional sister ship called the Star Explorer. That's going to take place December 2026. So Star Seeker and Star Explorer will have ice strengthened hulls and making access to different destinations, of course. Also, the ships are equipped with the latest technology in safety, propulsion, also navigation, including a pump jet thrusters and forward-facing sonar. And once again, what's great too is it's another way that they're minimizing their environmental footprint and also committing to their commitment to sustainability. And once again, they've got beautiful things too they're doing too. So once again, besides the systems that are really all global standards, it looks phenomenal too. And going back to Windstar Cruises, if you've not heard of them, they do phenomenal things. Haven't sailed on them yet, but I've written about them. But also, they've got a fleet of 7 boutique all-suite and sailing yachts, each carrying between 148 to 342 guests. And actually, Windsor Cruises has been voted the #1 boutique cruise line. And as far as where they sail, they offer different destination places to go to, including across Europe, the Caribbean, Costa Rica, Panama Canal, Alaska, which is great, Canada, New England, South America, Japan, and South Pacific. Also, Windsor operates year-round in Europe, and they're going to be offering actually 2 unique ship experiences in Tahiti in 2027. Tahiti's a gorgeous area. My parents had a chance to go there several times and stay there for a couple weeks, just staying in hotels, but then they started doing cruises there too. So once again, it was a beautiful way to see Tahiti and explore it too. So once again, they're going to be having new ship experiences in Tahiti in 2027. And then as far as their Star Class, which is their new ships, the Star Seeker in December 2025, followed by the Star Explorer in December 2026. And once again, with Windstar Cruises, it's not about the brand, it just is really about creating experiences that resonate with people. Port-intensive itineraries, iconic destinations. What's great too is, in their case, because the ships are smaller, they can actually get into smaller ports big ships can't get to. And that's, once again, I think a really wonderful plus to think about too. And they just do some amazing things too. It's so exciting. They've got their new starships. They've got their fantastic culinary programs, and it's just a fantastic thing that they're doing as far as building these 2 new class ships, the Star Seeker, which just floated out, plus a new one coming out too, which is great too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, with cruising, you've got so many options to think about. Okay, I mean, big ships are gorgeous because you've got more options as far as dining experiences, especially for families with kids, but also you've got luxury cruise lines that offer more experiences too, smaller ships, and then your luxury cruise lines. But once again too, with these smaller ships, you have a chance to really kind of experience more at the ports because they actually get into smaller ports, which is great, that some of the bigger cruise lines cannot get into, which is great too. So keep that in mind, because once again, Windstar Cruises, and they've been around for a while too, but it's really, really fun that they've got their new ships coming out, their Star Class ships coming out, which is great too, and a bit more about them. But what they're doing is they're actually who they're part of. Windstar Cruises is actually part of the Xanterra Travel Collection, and it's a distinct company, has hospitality and travel companies with legacy as far as different things too. So it's great to have that too. So keep that in mind too, 'cause it's wonderful. It's just exciting to talk about new ships coming out. Plus, with the Star Seeker series, it's the first ships coming out, and next year, and then the year following in 2026. That's exciting, isn't it? And then also, something else too is we talk about, as far as branding and positioning, what's really kind of fun too is Regent Seven Seas, which is a luxury cruise line. What they did was they have unveiled their new brand. It's called Unrivaled at Sea, and that's of course Regent Seven Seas. It's a new brand positioning. They're very luxury, and it's great because they've got a new global brand too campaign. Nobody does it better, and this new brand really kind of resonates with their multi-year evolution of Regent, which is designed as the best position for luxury cruise line. And they've really been very, very successful, and this is a new branding they're doing too, called Unrivaled at Sea, and that's their new tagline, which is kind of fun too, because once again, another good example of good things happening when you're actually on a cruise ship. But have fun too.
Yeah, that's fun. Yep. I just have a question for you based on something that I had read and I didn't know. how much you knew about it and everything. But I know that some of the countries that are destination sites and everything, sometimes they will be imposing taxes and everything because it looks like Mexico's getting ready to do that. And there was a whole letter. I didn't even know that there was this organization called the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. So they
Yes.
sent a letter to the Mexican president asking them to rethink the
Right.
tax that they were going to put out there and everything like that. And apparently, there's one in Greece as well, where they have a
Yes.
$22 tax for visitors cruising to Santorini or
Right.
Mykonos and everything. So, is
Right.
that something that the uh, customers need to think about when they are thinking about where they are picking as
Constantly.
to?
I know the cruise industry is finding this like crazy. It just came up in the news. Just I mean, I see a lot of coverage about it with the trade magazines too, but once again too is came up unexpectedly, and the thing is Mexico is a great place to go to. If they raise the port taxes, the cruise lines they don't want to leave, but they might have to pull out of different things too, because once again they
Right.
want to make sure that their guests enjoy different things and not get over build with things they can't control as far as the cruise line itself. It's a
Yeah.
special tax. And the Florida Caribbean Association is a great association. They just did a big conference, I think about, it was back in November too.
Okay.
Um, but the thing is, it just came up unexpectedly. And the thing is, they just want to tap on more taxes to guests on board that cruise lines can't control. Once again, the cruise lines are trying to pull together in a good way and say, okay, now, I mean, this is going to affect our business sailing to where to Mexico, different areas too.
Right.
It's a little crazy, and that just
Yeah.
came up. So I will definitely keep you posted because I know they're trying to really pull together as an industry to see if they can't get this to be reneged. I don't know why it came up unexpectedly, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
just very
yeah.
surprising.
Hopefully they can work that out and everything. I don't know if you've ever been, but they said that one of the other places that has a flight tax that's aimed at tourists leaving the islands and everything. But it sounds like a beautiful area of the world is the Maldives in South Asia. Apparently, it's known for its clear water and luxury resorts. So I was just wondering if you've ever been to the Maldives.
I haven't been there. I've heard it's so gorgeous too.
That's what I've heard.
Yes, yes, I've heard it's been beautiful. I haven't been there yet, but once again, like I said, just there's so many places to go to. I mean, you could rent a. I have a list. You keep adding more to your list where you want to go, right?
Right.
But
What What is on your wish list? I know you traveled some with work and everything, and that you probably traveled some with family members in the past. But what is on your wish list of places that you want to visit that you haven't visited? I just mentioned Maldives. I know that a friend of mine visited Belize, and they said Belize is very beautiful. That would be a great place to go that I haven't been to. But what is on your wish list?
okay, you know what? I confession time. Okay, I mean, two things came up. I have written about the river cruise industry like crazy. Okay,
Hmm.
have not been on a river cruise line. I
Gotcha.
want to do that. I really do. In fact, the people that on the waterways are great people. One time, Christine Carnes said we could get you one of our ships. But the thing is, it's a great way I think to explore Europe
Hmm.
because I've not been to Europe myself. Confession time too, but the thing is, it's I mean, Europe looks gorgeous, but the point is, if you did a tour that was just regular tour, you'd actually have to go to different hotels,
Right.
okay, which takes more time and effort. In this case, the ship is actually your floating hotel. Makes it much easier to experience it too. And once again, think about river cruising. It's very, very popular. It's growing like crazy. A lot of good
Hmm.
cruise lines that sail there, but also another one is actually I know I want to say do Egypt too.
Oh yeah.
And then next year, starting in March 2025, that's what they're actually starting their first new cruise itinerary. That's going to be sailing on the Magdalena River
Mm.
in South America. And their ships are small, okay, very, very small ships. But once again, their new ship is coming out next year. She's designed specifically to do that kind of itinerary. Then their other ship is going to be coming out in June next year. It'll also do the Magdalena River. It looks gorgeous. It really does. I had a chance to do some presentations, seeing what they're going to do too, and it looks gorgeous. It really does. Just a great experience. That's definitely interesting to me too. And something else that's really big too is, of course, people go to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
A little cold, okay, but
Yeah.
the ships that go there actually have been specially designed, of
Mm.
course, with the hulls and everything too. But it seems kind of interesting, although sometimes people will actually, they have different things they do in those kinds of cruises, but sometimes people actually go there and they actually Of course, they're dressed up warm. They actually dive in and come back on the ship. I
Mm.
don't think I do that myself.
Uh,
It's
well,
as
that's right.
my friend from Great Britain would say. He'll say it's too bloody cold here.
Too bloody cold.
Well,
Speaking
I
of,
mean, it'd be too bloody cold for me to do that. But I know people do it. But it looks gorgeous. It really looks gorgeous. It really does.
yeah,
I'd like to see
sounds
some
like
more.
it. Speaking of cold and everything like that, you said you've never done a river cruise, and I haven't done a river cruise either. Oh, I take it back. I think I did something in New York, but that was years ago. I don't remember if that was like a
Hmm.
cruise or like a ferry or something like that. But that was
Right.
decades ago and everything. But I know it wasn't a full cruise, if it was anything on the Hudson and everything. But I'm trying to recollect because that would have been many years ago. I would have been like a child or a teenager or something like that. But that being said, didn't you go to school in Chicago and Loyola? Because didn't you do like one of those Chicago cruises and everything? Because
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I belong to this group. It's an international group called Skull International.
right,
I'm a member of Skull Chicago. So in
right,
the fall we always do a river cruise in Chicago. Really
right.
pretty. We just did it again. We did that I think in October. It really worked out perfectly. The weather cooperated. It wasn't cold.
Mhm.
Really beautiful.
Sounds like it's
Plus,
good.
plus it was really nice too. Is a couple years ago when American Queen Voyages was still around, they just purchased two other ships and launched their one ship sailing on cruises departing from Navy Pier in Chicago through the Great Lakes, 5 Great Lakes up to Canada. And they actually had me come, other media people come for a luncheon to see the ship first. And then we got a chance to tour the ship, whatever. We had to get off, but then the ship was sailing out. And the ship was gorgeous. What happened was then, after American Queen Voyages went under, after the pandemic came through, messy stuff. But anyway, what happened is John Wagner, who actually was the president of he was president of American Queen Voyages. What happened was he and his wife actually bought those two ships, and they're relaunching them as Victory Cruise Lines. Okay, and I keep in touch with a great person. But Victory Cruise Lines is going to be starting this next year, 2025, and they'll be offering some sailings out of Navy Pier in Chicago through the Great Lakes up to Canada and back. And the other ship, I think they're going to reposition other places too. But it was great to see the ship because it was gorgeous, small of course, but just a great way to really, I think, kind of experience different places across the Great Lakes.
I
If you can do
agree,
that.
but I'm also seeing something because I was just curious because we have it here in the mainlands of Durham, North Carolina, and everything. So I was just curious if they did it on the cruise, and apparently they do. So this is a scary thought and everything. I'm sure that they have it regulated and everything like that. But because I'm seeing it for Holland, America, I'm seeing it for Great Alaska, I'm seeing it for Princess Cruise, and I'm seeing it for Carnival, and all of those cruises. You can go and check out apparently a Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show and an axe throw challenge. So I'm sure they're professional axe throwers and
Oh
everything.
yes,
But
I've
I'm
heard
going
about
like,
that too. I've heard about that too. I mean, yeah, I've talked about that before, I think too. But I've heard about it too in different presentations. Sounds really kind of funny about the axe throwing.
yeah, and it doesn't
Challenge.
look like it's that much. It starts at like 69.95, but apparently it's approximately 2.5 hours. But
Yeah,
even that's on Holland and everything. But and then
right.
maybe they do it after you get off port. But
Yeah,
yeah, it says just a
they do
brief
that.
throw. Yeah, it says just a brief throw from the pier. Experience the vibrant history of Southeast Alaska's logging legacy in the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, an exhilarating competitive show suitable for all ages. So it looks like it's a showdown between maybe the actual lumberjacks and some of the passengers and everything. No, it looks like it's actually as the Griffin Showdown features Alaska's frontier lumberjacks facing off against British Columbia's top woodmen. So it looks like it's Alaska against Canada. So that could
Right,
be interesting to watch and everything like that.
right. And who's gonna win, right?
You go in.
No, I've heard
I,
about it before too. It sounds really fun. You get off the ship and they have it another place too. It's like a shore excursion, so to speak, but
right.
it's actually a special place. Yeah,
Yeah, that could be fun. I don't know, but even here in Durham, because we've got one here in Durham, North Carolina, it's one of those axe bars. I'm always afraid that I know they keep them regulated, but I'm always afraid that the axe might go in a way that it's not supposed to go and everything. So that's what I'm going like, nope, not trying to be anywhere near any
right,
flying axes.
right. Go a different direction too. But if
Cool.
they're trained, whatever, they're very secure, trained, whatever. But I've heard about that too. And like I said, I went to Alaska a long time ago. Definitely gonna go back. It's such a beautiful place to go to too. You know, just gorgeous. And when I went, of course, I saw whales the first night. I mean, it was great. Just
Do you think that skip the action because I know you're probably like me. You're not going to do it, but I told you I think years ago my brother did. I think it was one of those zip lines and everything. Is I'm looking. There's a uh, kind of like a excursion that you can do, and you can book it as part of the trip and all along those lines. But it's the Alaska Zip Line Adventure and Axstone, and that'll go to Juneau and everything. So I just
Right.
wondering, would you ever consider yourself, and this is like you said, one of those offshore excursions, but
Right.
would you ever
Right.
consider doing zip lining, or you like me? You're like, no, I'm not trying to zip down no flimsy rope.
I don't think I'd make it. Okay. I mean, the funny thing is too is we're talking about zip lining and just going down. People love it. Some people. I could do it. I don't like high heights. I mean, I like feeling safe. Okay. I mean, you are safe, but the point is, I keep thinking about what happened on October 19th. Okay,
Mhm.
with Carnival Cruise Line
Right.
and Christine Duffy did that special skydive
Mhm.
where she had a skydive ten
Right.
thousand feet off the plane.
Right.
She did it with a professional, so they did the skydive together. But they came up with this fundraising thing. Carnival Cruise Line came up with a fundraising thing. They partnered with Gary Sinise Foundation, and they did fundraising. They donated money, and originally they wanted to maybe raise maybe $50,000. When they donated money the day before she's going to do the skydive, it went up to, I mean, what they'd already gotten so far was like $70,000. They actually earned $90,000 through
Wow.
skydiving with a professional. They did the skydiving together, so she wasn't alone by herself. But they showed the video. I think we showed it maybe on the show. But the funny
Yeah.
thing is, she
Yeah, we
got
did.
done. She had big smiles.
Oh yeah, she's having a good old time and everything. Speaking of a good old time, I know you're winding down and everything, but I know you've been to conferences. You just went to one, and I saw another one, and I don't know if you've ever been to the international ones, but apparently starting on yesterday, the 2004 Taiwan Cruise Forum, which is hosted by the Taiwan International Ports Corporation, opened at the Howard Plaza Hotel in Taipei. Apparently, this year's theme was Asia's Cruise Hub Innovation and Cooperation Empowering Taiwan's Cruise Industry Focus, and it was focused on growing the growth of the cruise sector in Asia. So I was just wondering if you ever thought about going into a international cruise conference, as I know you've been to cruise conferences here in
Absolutely.
the
I mean,
United
the thing
States.
is, yeah, Sea Trade Cruise Global. They have different conferences, but I love Sea Trade Cruise Global. It's
Mhm.
coming up, of course, next year. I think. Oh, it's in April. Right. It's right before I actually go on the new MSC ship, the World America. I'm going to be on the christening cruise of that. I'm really excited about
Okay.
that too. Yes, I got invited. I'm excited. I can't wait. But what happened too is Sea Trade Cruise Global, just different conferences across the world.
Yeah,
The one
I
I've been
guess.
to, oh my gosh, for since maybe 2013 is
Mhm.
the Sea Trade Cruise Global Conference that's held in Miami Beach, which is great. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. They've got you see so many different executives and they've got different presentations. The trade show is huge because it's anybody related to the cruise industry. It's just great. It's phenomenal. They do amazing conferences, and someday I'd like to do another one too, besides the one in Miami every year, which is great.
It looks interesting. It looks like Taiwan is building or announcing new incentives for 25 and 2026 to attract more cruise calls. So it looks like Taiwan is doing a aggressive bid to become a tourism spot, and that would make sense since it is an island nation and everything. But it
Right.
does look like they are even trying to add some incentive programs and trying to get workers to know what they're doing and everything. But it does look like they're trying to aggressively become a competitors to Singapore and some of those other
Right.
Asian ports.
Right. But again, they just do a great job. And I mean, it's good to go to different conferences, see different
Mhm.
people speak and executives. I mean, it's great. It really is great. You see different people, and it's great. It's a good
Mhm.
industry. And the thing is, they pull together, which is great too. And the thing is, a long time ago, my friend Rick was president of. He's chairman now of MSC Cruises USA, but they are Italian focused, of course, family owned. But it was another executive that he knew before had just become president of Costa Cruises. Okay, Maurice.
Mhm.
I was at this conference. I was waiting to talk to my friend Rick, and I talked to Dan Hammerhand, the president of Subway Cruises, and of course my friend Rick is over. He's like 6'2", and Maurice is very short, but shorter, about 5'10", whatever. But I saw Rick tap on Maurice Cermati's shoulder, and then Maurice turned around, and Rick gave him a big hug congratulate him on his role, became president of Costa Cruises. He left Costa Cruises, retired before that situation came up with the Costa Concordia. But anyway, they've known each other for years. But the thing is, Rick's always said there's enough business for all of us. But when in the world would you see one cruise line executive of an Italian cruise line congratulating another new cruise line president of kind of like a competitor, another Italian cruise line, congratulate him?
That's
what
all.
They do. They pull together as one industry. I mean, one time, different panels, but one time there's one with the Carnival Corporation, and they would talk about, they'd have different people that were senior vice presidents, and they'd talk about being sisters and brothers,
Oh, wow.
Really fun. But they pull together, even when we went through COVID-19, they pull together, and the thing is, it's really, like Rick's always said, there's enough business for all of us.
Oh, yes, plenty of business to spread the love and all along those lines. So plenty of that going on. I'm going to pull off, and I think we might go out with the Virgin one whenever you're ready. And I might even have that marriage one if I still got it on the tracks and everything. But yeah. I'll let you wrap up.
Right, great, good. Well, like I said, Crystal Cruises, like I said, as mentioned, they just announced the ships they're building. And actually, there's something else that they talked about, but like I said, they just signed for 3 new ships coming out, and I'm so excited because when I had a chance to sail on Crystal Serenity 2016, it was amazing. It was a great experience. The ship was gorgeous, and luxury. And the thing is, the people that we dined with, for most of them, they never sailed any of the cruises.
I'm back just really and everything. I do go say that on the network, one of our other hosts, Sasha Starr, does 3 shows, one on investment, one on Russia, Ukraine, and what's going on in that situation, and one on chess, the game of chess and everything like that. So actually, it's because he does the Ukraine show twice. So he's on 4 shows that are his, and then he also appears on our news show. But he and his wife, I think, leaving Saturday or Sunday, and they just love Aruba. So apparently maybe that needs to be on our destination list as well, because I think they're going to actually be staying in Aruba.
I've been there several times. In fact, last time I was there on my cruise, 2022, I always do shore excursions, but one place we went to, I don't know if I show you the picture, but they went one area and all these rocks, and there's one rock that looked like it had his mouth open. So it's like the talking rock, right? It was beautiful.
The talking rock?
It was just amazing. I mean, that's where they've got that natural stone bridge. And I've been to see the natural stone bridge years and years ago. That one crashed and something hit really bad. They got a new baby bridge. They call it a baby bridge. Another stone bridge, which is great. But just a beautiful place to go to, too. So.
Had a little echo going there, and but I'm geared to pass off, and whenever you're ready, we'll close out with those videos.
Let's close out with that. That's great too. But it's just great what they're doing too. I think it's wonderful. Yes.
Featuring a soundtrack of post-2000 mega hits, Dear Future Husband delivers a thrilling and entertaining cruise ship wedding adventure. This high-energy and interactive pop musical captures the memories of our Texan bride and her groom. With a lively group of friends, they journey towards the altar to that unforgettable moment of a lifetime. Our guests will experience non-stop fun and heartwarming romance through the dynamic vocals and dance of our playlist performers. Along with wedding-perfect costumes, scenic and media designs, Dear Future Husband is a show that has something for everyone and is one wedding invitation you don't want to miss.
Tonight we are celebrating the naming ceremony of our beautiful Explora 2.
There is an emotional connection to the ocean.
Mama, Papa, was your suitcase packed but not mine? How could you leave us kids behind? Parents are going on a cruise without us kids, and we know whose fault this is. Virgin Voyages says we can't cruise till we're 18, which makes us shake like we had caffeine. Virgin Voyages says no kids on the ocean, so we're causing a commotion. You'll be sipping cocktails under a starlit night while we're back home without an invite. Sure, you've earned a gourmet spread, but we're experiencing existential dread.
Adults, enjoy the cruise. We know you deserve it, but the fact we can't go is total bull.